Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend I won't pay our bills? Throwaway for privacy. My boyfriend, 30 male, and I, 25 female, have been together for 7 years and we live together and have a young child. He works full-time and I work part-time because I'm in college full-time. He makes a lot more money than I do because 1. He gets paid more and 2. He works a lot more hours than me. He only pays our rent and I pay the rest of our bills. I spend every single penny I make on bills and necessities, and don't have any money left for myself or to save. I own and pay for both of our cars, utilities, credit cards, etc. He insists that it's fair that he pays rent and I pay the rest of the bills, even though he makes a lot more money than I do. I should also mention that what I pay in bills every month is a lot more than our rent, and he complains or tells me to work more hours when I ask him to contribute or help me financially. He still has at least $1,000 left over to save and spend after paying his share while I have nothing. I told him I won't pay these bills alone anymore because frankly I can't afford to, and he got really mad at me. He told me all I care about is money. I've explained the situation to multiple people and some think I'm an and others think he should help me more. Am I the a-hole? DLDR, I told my boyfriend I won't pay our bills alone anymore because I can't afford to and he makes more money than me and won't contribute. He got mad at me and said that all I care about is money. Update: a lot of you are asking how much the bills cost and what exactly I'm paying. The bills are about $1,800 a month and our rent is $1,300. My credit card bills from both of our purchases are about $8,000 in total, and I have to pay for electric, gas, car payment, insurance for both our cars, food, stuff for our kid, etc. Another thing I will mention is I'm only going to college to get a new career so we can buy a house. He makes roughly $40K a year and I will be making $60K to start plus raises every year. I'm continuing my education once I get into my field and plan to earn my doctorate eventually. Once that is achieved, I will be making around $130K alone. He has told me before that once I finish school and make a good salary, he wants to be a stay-at-home dad and I can support us. I don't want to be in poverty for the rest of my life, so I'm trying to create a nice life for my family. Update number 2. I have asked my parents and boyfriend's mother on their opinion/advice. My parents said since we are a family unit he needs to support us and contribute more. He should be paying for most, if not all, since he is making more and I'm working less while in college. After I graduate and work, we can split the bills evenly. They said ideally, he would be the one supporting us completely and I can stay home with our young child, but he refuses to get a higher paying job, so I'm in college now to get a better paying job to help support us. I asked boyfriend's mother, and she said we should either not live together or I should work more to pay the bills if I can afford to. She basically agreed with his stance. Update number 3, I'll make this short and sweet because I know my post is really long. Originally he wasn't on board with me going to college because he knew I was gonna be working less and we were financially okay when I worked full-time, around $80K together. I grew up with parents who encouraged me to be ambitious and I'm a go-getter. I want that really nice $800K house with a white picket fence and financial stability, and I will have it one day. He's the type of person who doesn't care about growth and is content with $40K a year. He says I care about money too much because I want a really nice life and it hurts my feelings. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister that the loss of her baby was God's will, just like she told me? Temporary account. English is not my native language, so I apologize for any mistakes. Here we go, I really need to get this off my chest. My name is Liz, I'm 26 years old. I've been openly lesbian since I was 15. I have an older sister named Kim, who is 29. I'm married to Kelly, 28, who is simply the most amazing woman I've ever met. Both of us really wanted to have children, and Kelly really wished to experience childbirth. So, we decided to find a sperm donor and Kelly became pregnant. The whole family was incredibly happy with the news and congratulated us on the new baby. Now, Kim has always been my support. She went with me to LGBT parades, stood up to anyone who judged me or my wife, and was the maid of honor at my wedding. But recently, she started a relationship with a guy named Simon. He's an extremely conservative Christian and clearly got into my sister's head. The two of them made uncomfortable jokes throughout the pregnancy, implying that Kelly had turned straight and had cheated on me with a man to have a real family. Needless to say, these comments hurt us deeply, even more coming from my sister. They got engaged and got married in the meantime. I was the maid of honor, but Kim didn't want Kelly to attend and only allowed her to go because our parents and siblings threatened not to go if she didn't. When Kelly was 7 months pregnant, she had a car accident that resulted in the loss of the baby and nearly took her life. Saying that we were devastated is an understatement. She and I sank into depression, and Kelly even came close to overdosing on medication. She barely survived. My family was our anchor. My older brother, John, 32, moved to my house to help us, me and my wife, during this difficult time. But you know what Kim and her husband did? Simon had the audacity to say that losing the baby was a blessing for the child, because then she wouldn't have been born into a dysfunctional family and wouldn't be raised by a couple driven by lust instead of the true love God had planned. And Kim? Well, she defended him and even added that it really was God's will that the child wouldn't be born without a father. I was extremely furious and cut contact with him. A few days ago, I learned that Kim had caught Simon in bed with another woman, apparently her best friend. He admitted to the affair and fled to another city to live with his lover. During this mess, Kim was pregnant, but the stress led her to miscarry. The most astonishing thing is that she didn't even know about the pregnancy until the tragedy happened. When she called me crying and shared the news, I coldly replied that it really was God's will for the child not to be born without a father. Now, our family is divided. Some believe Kim got what she deserved, while others think I overreacted and that she's going through a difficult time. So I want the opinion of you internet strangers. Am I the a-hole? Am I a hole for not waking up early and helping my mother-in-law with chores? I, female 25, have been married for a year now. It is customary in our culture that women stay with their in-laws after marriage. I didn't subscribe to this and told my husband, then BF, before marriage itself that I want to live separately. He agreed, since he himself wanted to live away from parents and build his own life. But as a compromise, we would still visit them and stay at their place every couple of months. It is again customary, father-in-law helps mother-in-law with household tasks, the stench of patriarchy. In our house, that is mine and husband's, we are equals. We do chores together. In in-law's place, it's always his mom who does the majority of chores. She was a stay-at-home mom too. When I am visiting I am expected to help her with the chores. Not my husband, just me. I just rope him in as well. The major issue is that everyone there wakes up at 5:36 am. That's way too early for me even on days when I have work. Since we go there on my off days, I just want to sleep in. At least till 8 to 9 am. Initially they didn't say much about this. Just a bit of snide comments that I let go. Choose my own battles and all. But this morning my mother-in-law made a big show of how I never help her with chores. Let me clarify. She wakes at 6 am and finishes most tasks by 9 am. By the time I am awake, it's all done. I help prepare, but that doesn't count to her. The fact I don't slave away in the kitchen is making her mad. When she went on a whole woe on me act, my husband, who normally supports me, also got mad at me. He asked why I couldn't wake up a few days out of a month earlier than I wanted to help his mom. When I said, he can help his mom himself since he wakes up anyway, he said that's not the point. He said he doesn't ask much of me and this is the least I can do. Respect his parents when we're staying under their roof. I got mad and told him, I don't want to stay under their roof and neither do I have to. With that I just packed my bags and left that place. Now my parents and husband are blasting my phone for overreacting. Am I a hole? Cause I see a lot of comments asking me to help my mother-in-law. No one has anywhere to be. It's literally the weekend. There is no requirement for things to be done by that time. Other than the fact it is how we do here. And I help her meal prep. Cut veggies and everything the night before. I clean the house too, roping in my husband as well, though we literally visit for 2 days. Also to people who commented I shouldn't go then, my initial agreement, before marriage with him and my husband, was that I wouldn't go. I work full-time in a different city. I want to relax on weekends. They kept calling, begging and guilt-tripping. I finally agreed to visit. As in 1 weekend a month. We go there Friday after office and return Sunday night. That's literally the entire weekend and duration of stay. If I wasn't there, I would be sleeping until 12 noon or after. Husband knows this well. Because I respect his home I am getting at 8 to 9. It feels like yet another working day to me. Getting up at 6 am is like overtime on already hectic 12-day week. To all who are guessing, yes, I am Indian. From Kerala to be precise. And yeah, I know many other cultures have this in common. Reading each of your stories makes me sadder and braver at the same time.